We're live. And I just scared Aretha. All right. Wow, I need a haircut. Something terrible. Hair flapping like wings. Going to start looking at the picks for this week as soon as I can get there. Hello, Jake. 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 Okay. All right. What a week one. It was incredible. Why am I having such a hard time finding where to go? Am I not logged in? All right, let's go to Fantasy Football Home. Maybe that will get me there. Here we go. I do appreciate everyone. I really didn't think last week's video was going to do very well. I have to admit, I was really tired, pretty low energy. Hopefully, I'll be better this week. But not bad views. I mean, compared to last season when I had some that didn't even break double digits. So, okay. Now, let me do everyone a favor. Let me go to share. And make my face small. Much easier to look at. Got to do something about the camera placement, though. I hide behind this name thing. Don't know what to do about that camera, and I'm afraid to touch it. Time I touch that camera, it goes out. Wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to this stream. Let's go back and look at last week's games. Week one. I think I was kind of all over the place. Let's see, how many losses did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses. Not good. Hey, Eric. I'm glad to see you stopping by to say hi. Yeah. But those Packers, wow, those Packers. But they did that last year. It was even more abysmal than it was this year. Yeah, they'll bounce back. I have a feeling part of what my thoughts are that what we're seeing, I think maybe some of it got blamed a little too much on COVID. But I think what we're seeing is kind of a hangover in week ones now from the fact that you only have 3 preseason games. So you don't really get very many in-game reps in the preseason. I think offenses especially have to kind of find themselves. So, I think it's it can be a little tricky to put too much blame on week one results. So let's look at some of these. Buffalo. Well, but I only put 1 confidence point on it. Yeah, I know. Buffalo really those Bills, man, they made me look bad. Didn't take long. Lost the Thursday night game. Uh, I didn't expect the point margin to be that wide. I thought it could go either way. That's why I only put 1 point on it. But yeah, I kind of expected a little bit more bounce. I tell you what, my big takeaway from that Thursday night game was looking at Buffalo that kind of worries me is that pass rush. Their pass rush looked really, really good. That was everybody was hollering Josh Allen. I thought Josh looked okay. I don't think he looked great or elite quite yet. Of course, he's got plenty of season to get there. Week 1, but that pass rush, that Buffalo pass rush, looked really, really good. And I thought that was kind of the difference in this game, and kind of the reason why the Bills got the big win was because they kept the Rams off balance. All right, I did get the New Orleans Atlanta game right, even though that was close. I really thought New Orleans would dominate. I got to get back in the rhythm of checking my comments. Bills are solid. Absolutely. And I never expect now. I think before I might have said that defense maybe is a little tad overrated, but if they get a pass rush going like the one they did last week, that will help. That will help that secondary a lot. They are definitely one of the teams to beat in the NFL this year. Back to New Orleans games. I did not expect that kind of performance out of Marcus Mariota. I'm not a believer in Mariota. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because Aretha just decided that it was time for her to start annoying me and get in front of the TV. But I can look at this one, right? Well, no, I can't. I can't see. I'm too old to see that. Aretha, come on over here. Please. 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 All right. Well, that doesn't work anymore. Oh. Well, thank you for moving. Yeah, you're a good girl. All right. What do I think about the Saints Wildcats? I didn't see the Wildcat too much. I did not see very many highlights of that game. I was watching the NFL Red Zone, and it was pretty schizophrenic. But I think that even with the Red Zone jumping around from game to game trying to get all the highlights, that Bengals Steelers game was so wild that we ended up there a lot. And what was the other game? There was another game that we ended up at a lot. I think maybe it was the Cleveland Carolina game. I can't remember, but yeah, I don't recall seeing much of the Saints Wildcat. I'll have to look at it. I don't think the thing about the Wildcat is it can be a bit gimmicky. I don't know that you can do sustained success, but we'll see. We'll see if they've got the right personnel for it. But you kind of expect they're going to do some gadget plays. They like to use Taysom Hill, at quarterback sometimes. because of his running ability. That's but yeah, that was a wild game. Saints are lucky to get out of that one with a win because Mariota really did play much better than I thought he would, and yeah, Hill was booking it. Man, that guy, he's got some skills. Good player. Looking at San Francisco, Chicago game, I had San Francisco. You would think that defense of theirs would shut down Chicago. Fields. To me, the jury's still out on him. Is he the quarterback of the future? I don't know. But you gotta give credit to the Bears, man. They were down. They stayed in there. They played hard, and they put up, just about all of their points. In this, I think they did score all of their points in the second half, and that's pretty good. I mean, when you because that 49er defense has some real studs on it. They're no joke. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Wow, what a game. I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like that. That was one for the ages. I could not believe my eyes. I kind of watch it with a little extra I don't know, feeling, because one of my friends at work, I'm friends with the head of the security at work, and he is a big Bengals fan. We talk football all the time. So I'm not going to lie. I was kind of, for him, I was putting myself in his shoes and thinking, how would he feel? And I watched when I saw the touchdown to Chase. I mean, his foot, they should have challenged that because his foot was clearly, and that should have been a touchdown. And I was thinking, oh no, they can't possibly lose this game because the coaches were too quick and didn't allow it a challenge. I was a little surprised too. I guess I don't need to understand the rules a little better. I thought they were reviewing. Well, it wasn't a scoring play though, as it was ruled on the field. I guess if they had ruled it a catch for a touchdown, they would have reviewed it. I guess that's the reason why. But man, I was thinking, man, that's going to be terrible. And then the Steeler defense held, and I thought, oh my gosh, what's happening here? Then you watch the Steelers give the ball back up. And here come the Bengals, and these, they tied it up, but then all of these missed kicks, that poor, what is the name of that Bengals kicker? He was we were McPherson, because we were calling him Money McPherson last year because he was so good. He was so good, and he had such a terrible game. Money McPherson played like chump change on Sunday, and you feel bad for the kid because I think he's better than that. But yeah, that was such back and forth, going all the way into overtime and deep into overtime, I just that has always been it's not always been a good rivalry because the Steelers at periods have just dominated the Bengals, but when the Bengals have had good teams to compete with the Steelers, that has been a decent rivalry and certainly is now. And Let's see here. Oh, and I will say this. TJ Watt came up on my respect meter because that guy was a warrior on Sunday. I can see what all the fuss is about. There for a while I thought, well, they're just fussing over him because he's JJ Watt's brother. But no, this guy's a real deal, all on his own. Steelers flirt with tied games more than any other team in the league over the past 20 years. Yeah, that does seem to be true. Yeah. And I wonder why that is. Lions do a good job of not so much tying, but keeping it close. We'll get to the Lions here and let's go ahead and get on the Lions. Detroit. We got Philadelphia at Detroit. I picked that one right, but just barely, because Detroit has this way of keeping it close, coming back, fighting back, clawing their way back, just to lose. That's terrible. But and I hate it because I kind of like Campbell. He seems like I think I might have said this last week. Campbell seems like a meathead to me a little bit, but man, the guy is passionate and dedicated and hardworking, and you got to respect all that. And maybe he's a lot brighter than what I give him credit for. Just listening to his press conference, though, he just seems like over the top, almost professional wrestler promo type material. And so I guess that's why I think of him as maybe being a little bit of a meathead. But the guy and guys play for him. They did in Miami when he was interim. They trying in Detroit. Guys don't give up. They fight for him, and so hopefully maybe he'll see some success here shortly. But yeah, don't know what really to think of that. I kind of felt like Philadelphia was. Don't know if that was just quit, Aretha. Don't scratch on that, please. Don't know if Detroit might be better than what I think. Kind of thought Philadelphia might dominate that a little bit more, but they didn't. Close game, and good on Detroit for making it one. Now we've got the Patriots at Miami. Yes, that felt good. Not everything that we wanted out of that game, for sure. I would have liked to have seen more offensive explosion, but hey, it's game one, season one under the new coach, and Rome wasn't built in a day. We did see a flash of it, and that flash was good enough to get us a touchdown. And what a gutsy call. Of the two moments that were the gutsiest, this would have been come in number two. Going forward on 4th and 7, which got us the touchdown from Tua to Waddle, and those are the type of plays that teams are going to be afraid of Miami for. Just those little slants where either Hill or Waddle can grab it and just run, because once they get by you, they're gone. And that was the case. Now, was the offensive production everything we wanted? No, didn't really run the ball. I definitely would have liked to have seen more run production. But at the same time, Miami did go through 3 tackles during the game. Hopefully none of those injuries are serious, and Miami can get back to work. But yeah, so it wasn't a perfect game, but the defense looked really good. defense looked really good, and who's out there making plays? Guys like X and Javon Holland, who is becoming one of my favorite Dolphins. I mean, that guy is everywhere. He's like, sometimes you think they ought to remake Multiplicity and put him in it, because he just seems there's got to be more than one Javon Holland on the field, because he's everywhere. Good win. Good win. Enjoyed watching them celebrate it, and it was, to me, it was solid. I don't really see that the Patriots gave much of a challenge. They didn't get whipped, but they it really, once Miami got out and ahead, I don't know that the Patriots ever really posed a great threat to them. So it felt good. It felt really good. Now we'll talk about the team in this game. We're talking about the Ravens, the Dolphins' next opponent, at the New York Jets. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that coming a mile away. Ravens are much better than the Jets. They proved it. They whooped them. That's why there's Big 12 sitting out here. Saw that one coming. And look, people need to quit writing off Lamar Jackson. I still say that this kid's different from every other running quarterback that I've seen that failed. He's better than Vic. He's better than all those guys. My biggest problem with guys like Vic are those guys that they got cannons for an arm but no touch. Lamar, I think, has got touch, and I think his completion percentages are good. He's going to have a good year this year. I got a feeling. I guess time will tell. Multiplicity is a classic. Absolutely, I love that movie. One of my favorite Michael Keaton movies. But let me keep going, because I was about to start naming other Michael Keaton movies. We don't have time for that. But I will gladly make a live stream and talk about Michael Keaton movies at some point, if that sounds interesting to folks. I do like Michael Keaton. I don't think he was a great Batman, but I thought he was good. Here I go. Let's see. Jacksonville at Washington. Good on the Commanders to hang in there and get a win over Jacksonville. Jacksonville, good on them to make this an interesting ball game and keep it. I didn't see much of this, so I can't really comment on exactly what happened. But again, I didn't put a lot of points on it because I wasn't sure. Still not real sure. That's one I'd like to go back and review the highlights. But good on the Washington Commanders. I think I did see Scary Terry McLaurin make a play or something in a highlight or something. That guy's Scary Terry is a great name for him. Cleveland at Carolina, and I missed this one. Cleveland got the win. I did not see. I guess I owe Jacoby Brissett an apology. I never thought he was a bad quarterback. I just didn't know if he was good enough to make a big enough of a difference. He played well enough. And this Browns team has got some real weapons, and especially on the ground. Between Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they can move the ball. And they did enough, barely, to get the win over Carolina. Kind of feel bad for Baker Mayfield a little bit. That had to be a tough loss, and in the final seconds he thought he had was going to get out of there with the win, and the crazy kicks of week one took it away. Indianapolis and at Houston. How did this end up being a tie? I thought the Colts would just wipe the floor. In fact, that I lost 16 points off that game because it ended in a tie. 16 confidence points gone because the Colts couldn't. How? I have no answers. That's another game I need to really look at highlights because I just don't get it. I don't get it. I thought Matt Ryan would be a great steal for them, and really Jonathan Taylor really impressed me last year. But the Colts just, where is the life in this team? I have no idea. Giants at Tennessee Titans. Wow, what a game out of the Giants. Saquon Barkley making me eat some words because I kind of thought, he's fragile now. Not going to be a big player. Kind of overrated. No, he's still good. And what about I don't know much about Brian DeBole. Man, what a call. Has there been a gutsier call than to go for two when you're down by one late in the game? What a call. What a call. Of course, if they don't get it, how are we talking about them? But yeah, that took some real guts, and good on the Giants because I really have laughed at them a lot, and over the past year, but they're showing some fight. They made that a good game. Tough loss for Tennessee Titans. I'm sure they were looking at that thinking this is a good home opener for us, and it didn't end well. Then we've got Green Bay at Minnesota. I did not see much of this game. I did see the drop pass and thinking, wow, how much does Rodgers miss Davante Adams? If they had Davante, they maybe don't lose that game. Because even though 23-7 doesn't look that close, but man, with Davante, maybe they don't one, if that deep pass was going to Davante doesn't drop that ball. You can't tell me Davante would have dropped that ball. And that's what Rodgers has been complaining about. But Green Bay had its opportunities, and what is it that the Green Bay front office doesn't get about? I mean, you've got a great quarterback, an elite quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He's getting older. The window of opportunity is closing. But a couple of years ago, you draft a backup with the number one pick, Jordan Love, instead of getting him more weapons. Then you let Davante Adams go. What are you trying? What is the end game for the Packers? What are they trying to do? I don't understand. It seems like they have no commitment to keeping a player as quality, except Rodgers. But he can't do it alone. He needs help. and he needs some decent wide receivers. It seems to me that while you have Rodgers, you do whatever is necessary to get the talent up around him to go get that championship. Kansas City at Arizona. Kansas City, man, they don't look like they're missing a beat. They look midseason form. Got the Raiders at Chargers. Expected this one to be, I only put 2 points on it because I expected this one to be a slobber knocker, and they didn't disappoint. They went at it. Saw Carr immediately hooking up with Devontae Adams, and then this is what you expect. We'll talk in a minute about whether I think the Chargers can hang with the Chiefs. Then we've got all right, Tampa Bay took care of Dallas. I think everybody saw that coming. Dallas is still not where they always claim to be. Wow, and the internet's been brutal to them. If you're not a Dallas fan, and I'm not, it is kind of funny. Kind of enjoyed it. The only bad part here is that Tom Brady got a big win. Tired of him. Go away, Tom. Can we get a divorce from Tom? Go home. Let's see here. And then finally, Seattle ruining the debut of Russell Wilson with the Broncos. Why does everyone seem to hate Russell Wilson so much? He seems like a good dude to me. Just doesn't make any sense. But boy, the internet's been rough on him as well. Good on the Seahawks though. I didn't think they'd be much competition. I think it looks like I had about 13. I can't tell because they kind of got it faded there, but I had a lot of confidence points on the Broncos because I really thought they were going to win. They didn't. Yeah, so I ended up 66 total points after the confidence points were added up. And what did I do win-wise? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it was pretty close to 500. We're going to try to do a little bit better this week. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it's week 1. You're trying to get a feel for what these teams are going to do. So tonight, Chargers versus Kansas City. We're going to kind of move through these quick because I talked a long time about each football game from the past week. Oh, wow. Have I really been going that long? Let me get to cranking on this. Chiefs. I don't see the Chargers quite holding. I think they'll give them a decent ball game, but the Chiefs look awfully good, and I think the just too much firepower for the Chargers right now. Then we've got start with Sunday games. We got the Jets at the Browns. Browns are going to spank the Jets. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and put the 16 right there. Because I just don't see the Jets being that good. I think the Browns handle them relatively easy. Then we got the Lions at the Commanders. Oh, wow. Will Detroit show up? Will they be scrappy? How will the Commanders do defending the home turf? Man, that's a tough call. I don't know that I see a whole lot of difference in the talent levels here. I'm going to go Washington, but out of respect for Detroit, I'm just going to put the one right there. Then we've got Tampa Bay. We got the Buccaneers at the Saints. I don't think this will be a blowout, but I don't know how you go against Tom until they just get beat, right? I think the Saints are the team with something to prove here. And so yeah, I see the Saints or the Buccaneers winning a competitive game with the Saints. Then we got the Giants at Carolina, and I like the Giants here, not by much. Where in fact, this is where the 2 is going because they're not great. The Giants aren't great. We're not all of a sudden going to crown the Giants as being world beaters, but they're a scrappy young team, and Carolina doesn't seem to quite have their. If they have an identity, they have with Baker. They haven't quite found it yet. So, yeah, I like the Giants in a close game here. This is tough. We've got a solid but not great New England Patriots team at the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just got through with the war. But man, Pittsburgh just handled the conference champs. Though I think they're going to be without TJ Watt for at least a month. I think I read today that he won't need surgery, but he will be out, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. New England is solid. I don't know that they go into Pittsburgh though. If this was in Foxborough, I might lean the other way. And I know I can value vinyl if you're out there somewhere and listening. Yeah, I know. I put too much on this, but because it's in Pittsburgh, I think I'm going with the Steelers. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but I like the Steelers here. Colts versus Jaguars. I don't know what to think about this one. I'm going to go Colts. I think they're the better team, but I'll come back to do the confidence points on that, but I don't think it's going to get much. Colts got to wake up and do something. Then we've got my Dolphins at the Ravens. Baltimore's favored. I don't know how I feel about that. Feels a little disrespectful. I mean, because if you remember, Dolphins played the Ravens in prime time last year. It's on a Thursday night. The Dolphins punched the Ravens right in the mouth. I think they blitzed Lamar 37 times. And they made quite the defensive statement last year. Now, I don't think that means much this year. We'll see if the Dolphins, this will be a good test. I think the Dolphins, if you consider Miami's next 2 games are against the Bills and Bengals, it would be really nice to go into those games being 2-0 because I don't think we win both of those. We might potentially upset one or the other, but so I like the Dolphins here. Um, but I do think this is not an easy game either. This is tough because I think Lamar will have a decent year this year. All right, so now we go to the Rams, the Falcons at Rams. Rams are going to bounce back, and Mariota's going to need more time. Going to have to show me more than that before I become a believer. Yeah, he had a good week. Okay, let's see what he does this week. Then we've got the Seattle Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers. I like the 49ers. I don't think Seattle maintains that kind of momentum. The 49ers got great defense. I like the 49ers here. I don't know how many confidence points I'll put on it, but we'll see. Cincinnati at Dallas. I like Cincinnati here. And they could potentially put one on the Cowboys because that would stack out for now. Half the season. Who I don't even know who the Cowboys starting quarterback is now. Let's see. We've got the Texans at Broncos. I think Denver definitely bounces back this week. Russell will have a good game, much to the haters' dismay, and maybe Houston comes back down to the ground because I don't think they are that good. In fact, in my opinion, I still see them as being kind of bottom feeders in the NFL. Arizona at Raiders. Cardinals, man, they got need to wake up. I think I go with the Raiders here. I mean, Arizona's still, if Murray gets hot, they can do something, but he's got to get it going. And to be fair, they did put up some, they just couldn't keep up with that high octane Chiefs offense. But they, when you got them at home, you got to try. You got to do better than that. We've got the Chicago Bears at Green Bay Packers. Pack win this. Yeah, I mean, this Packer team's even with the loss of Devontae Adams, they're still one of the better teams around. I haven't seen enough otherwise to give up on them. We got the Titans at Buffalo Bills. Buffalo looks so good. There's no way that I could pick against them this week. And then we've got the Vikings at Philadelphia. Man, that's a tough pick too. But we're going to go Minnesota just because they played the better game. They took on the better opponent and played better against them. Whereas Philadelphia, and I'm not trying to knock the Lions, but come on, man, you gotta do better than that. So let's finish doing these confidence points. Boy, just trying to. I guess what we're going to do here is we'll put the 15 on the Bengals because they're not going to. I know it's in Dallas, but they're not going to lose. I just can't bring myself to believe that they're going to lose to the Cowboys. Cowboys with the Cowboys starting a backup quarterback. Let's see if I can find out who that is. Dallas. I can't. Well, we know Dak Prescott, but who's going to be starting in his place? Not putting him on IR. Cooper Rush and Will. Yeah, come on. All right, so we're not going there. We're not even entertaining that. Let's put. I know Denver lost. I'll still put 14 on them to beat Houston. I'm playing big. Do it big or go home. Right? That's the way we do it. Who else am I going to put big points on? I'm putting it on Buffalo. Buffalo ain't. While a lot of respect to the Tennessee Titans, but the Titans aren't going up to Buffalo and beating the Bills, especially not after that big game. That's a home opener for the Bills. Are you kidding? I wouldn't want that for nothing. I think that's a home opener. Yeah, the Bills were in Los Angeles last week. All right, so let's keep working these confidence points. What do I feel strongly about? Not sure. Not sure. I guess I do feel strongly that the Rams aren't going to go 0-2. And I can't believe the Colts would drop another one. Come on, man. If the Colts lose this game, I'm done with them. I'm done with them. I won't have any confidence in them whatsoever. Let's go ahead and put the 10 on my Fins. Well, that kind of that Baltimore team, I'm not looking past them though. They're a scary team. But we beat them last year. Hopefully, we can beat them again this year. What do I feel strongly about? Feel strongly that Green Bay's not going 0-2. This is just where it gets just so murky. Guess we'll go ahead and put 8 on the Chiefs, because this is their home opener as well. They're not dropping this one. I don't see it though. Man, that's tough because if you're wondering if Herbert's the real deal, I mean, even in the loss to the Raiders in the playoffs last year, I thought, man, this kid, he's slinging it on 4th down and making them. And yeah, a lot of good talent there. We're going to go ahead and put the 7 on Tampa Bay, even though they weren't that impressive last week. I do like San Francisco. This feels like a little much. We'll do the 5 on Green or Las Vegas. We got 2 left. We'll put 4 on the Steelers, 3 on the Vikings. Let's hit this. Predict the scores for these games. We got Minnesota at Philadelphia. I like Buffalo to score even more than that. I don't know about that. Let's do 35 there, 24 there. Who will score the most this week? I'm going to go KC. They look they look about as good as any of the teams out there as far as being close to what you would expect out of them. They almost look. I mean, 5 touchdowns for Mahomes. Fewest points this week. Ooh. You know what? Maybe Dallas, since they don't have really a great quarterback. Save picks. And that is week 2. Let's look at a little fantasy football. We'll do the we've kind of moved that keeper league to sleeper, and I'll look at it. Maybe look at being able to pull that up next week. In the meantime, let's look at the Football Freaks League. I need to add a team logo, and that's, I guess, a league logo is what I need. Last week, I beat the Glitter Ponies. And I feel good about this week. I haven't really looked at the waiver wires. It's something I need to do as soon as I get off here. Tough calls to make. I noticed that Josh Allen, because he's playing the Titans, in some of the recommendations, he only got like 1 star as compared to Aaron Rodgers. Maybe I should start Aaron over Josh, but I think I'm going to leave Josh in there. He did fine. He may do fine against the Titans, especially in the home opener. I've already made a change. Let's see. Yeah, I brought in Kareem Hunt. He was on the bench for me last week, and I had Najee Harris. But I think Harris is banged up. Haven't really looked too much at that. I don't see. It doesn't even look questionable. But I just felt like we're going to put Kareem Hunt in with Austin Eckler. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire was my big guy anyway in the flex position. And then Mike Williams, Jalen Waddle, I don't see they did fine. I don't see a reason to take them out for either Jerry Jeudy or Adam Thielen. I did another change I did make, and hopefully it won't bite me. I know Zach Ertz has been nursing an injury, but I felt like he would be a more explosive possibility than I had Hawkinson in last week. So that's the 2 big changes right there. Hunt and Ertz in, and Hawkinson and Najee Harris out. And we'll see how they do. But yeah. So I won both games. I won the game in the sleeper league as well. So both teams are 1-0, and that's what we've got. Week 1. I've been yammering for nearly an hour to myself. Glad to see Eric stop in here, even if it was just for a few minutes, because he's traveling. Always glad to see my buddy. And I'm going to end this. I probably won't stay on Thursday nights. I think it's the first 2 weeks. It has kind of caught up with me as to how quick the turnaround is. I don't know. I'll watch the views if people are enjoying it more. People are actually watching it more. You know, maybe we stay on Thursday night. But I'm kind of thinking that I will eventually drop this back to either Tuesday or Wednesday. So anyway, hey, you can leave me a comment after I've posted this, and I would look forward to that. Um, but I'll end it for now. Thanks for being here. Till next week. Peace.